composition, and hopefully you have used one or more principles of organization or principles of design in order to organize it. You want to identify it by putting some type in there that actually says what it is, which principle you were using to compose your elements. I used occult balance and movement as principles for creating my composition, and then I've set that title in Myriad Pro. You can use Arial bold or Myriad bold, and I've set it in roughly 22 points, anywhere between 18 and 24, and I've set it in a bold version of the typeface. I've also, rather than put it in the center where it's difficult to read, I've put it off in an area where it's easy to read. Just make sure you put it in an area where we can actually read the title. So this is identifying the principles that I've used in the composition. This is the composition. I'm saving a version of it just as a native Illustrator file. So I'll call it Kinney Jim Comp using the camel method of file naming. That's initial capitals. And I'm just going to save it on my desktop. So I'll save it there. And I'll just use the default settings for it. So that's a native version, should I need to go back and make edits later on. For submission purposes, I'm going to export a PNG version. So I go to File, Export, and there's a number of ways in which I can do it, but I'm going to use the old school method, Save for Web. That's why it has legacy in brackets. It's an old format. I'm going to choose PNG 24 up here. If yours might be defaulting to GIF or JPEG. I'm going to select PNG 24 and make sure if transparency is selected with a check mark, uncheck it. So this checkbox is left unchecked. We'll save that again. Again, I'll keep the same naming. This time it's going to export a PNG. And I've already got one sitting on the desktop, so it's just replacing it. I'm done now, so I'll just quit out of Illustrator. Probably save those changes. I won't save that. And I won't save that. To post it. And so to do that, I will go to the activity where that is found. And it's here in Unit 3. I'll scroll down, click on the link to take you inside the assignment, scroll to the bottom where you're going to find the questions. So question 1, I'm going to click there. There are 3 questions, which means I need to submit the work 3 times. Now there's 2 ways of submitting work. I'm just going to delete this for now. You can click this content button up here on the bottom right. If you don't see that, it's because your menu's collapsed. When you click here, you can see the Add Content button. I'm going to click that, and it allows me to insert local files. And I can locate that file there and open it up. And it's inserted. You can click on it to select it and make it a little bit smaller, just so that it's easier for the evaluator to see. The other way of doing it is to put it up as an attached file like you see I have here at the bottom. And that's done by clicking Browse Local Files. You would locate that file and then you would open it up and it would be attached there. If you accidentally attach the wrong thing, you can mark it for removal and reattach another version of the file. At any time you can come in here prior to the deadline and make changes if your project changes in some significant way. I click Next. That takes me to the second question, allowing me to make the second submission. I'll just go through this again, hit the Content Edition button, insert local files, and continue that. And again, I would continue that entire process until I was finished. Yours won't have anything in there when you're doing it for the first time. This will be empty. I'm just repeating this, having already posted. And so add content, insert local files, and locate that. Open that up, select it, make it a little bit smaller, and then submit. Once you've done that 3 times, just check to make sure at the very bottom of the assignment that the status for every question in the assignment is showing as completed. Question 2 completed, and question 3 status completed. And I'm done. You can just click OK, and I've made my submission.